Welcome back to DigiBros, everybody.
Still fighting this boss. It's going to take me a fresh minute because I feel like this is the hardest boss in the game.
Wouldn't be surprised.
It actually took me
boss.
so many tries when I came, because I was way underleveled for this when I came here before. Like, I'm doing massive damage now because I've got an endgame character. But fucking, this took me so many tries, I just gave up. I must have fought it 100 times, didn't beat it, gave up until the new DLC came out, came back, got to the end of the game, and then came back and killed this boss. And it still took me several tries. This boss was fucking hard as shit.
Was this the one you were live streaming yourself trying to beat?
No, it was not. That was one of the new bosses. Because you have to beat this boss to do the new DLC.
Yeet. It's a toughie. So, Vic, we went on a huge political rant in the last episode.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today? Something more typical? Something more about our everyday, that everyday life shit. How's it been living with Hope?
It's great. I'm living the American dream right now. Literally, like, if I were financially secure, life would be completely perfect. But then, like me and Hope were talking about this earlier today, where it's just like we are living like a pretty fucking nice life, you know, like emotion-wise, and like I think a very valuable thing to have is when your biggest problem is your work, where I think that's where life stress should be. You should be stressed out about your job. You should be stressed out about maintaining money. You shouldn't be stressed out about your relationship.
I completely agree with
your family, you know? Those are the things that
those exist to relieve the
exactly.
stress. Yeah.
Those exist to relieve the stress. You shouldn't be trying to escape your girlfriend at work, you know?
Yeah.
If that's the case, you're not in a good relationship. So it's like we have stressful work situations, but that's where the stress should be, because you don't want to have no stress. Then you have no conflict, and you're gonna find stress somewhere, you know.
Which is why our mom always gets jobs, even though she doesn't have to, because she just can't handle.
You need something to do.
Being at
You need
home
something
with
to be stressed about.
And she always somehow manages to get the highest stress jobs.
Of course.
But yeah, I totally agree with your postulate there. Like, I think that's a big part of why people say you shouldn't make your hobby your job.
Yeah.
Because your hobby, for a lot of people, their hobby is the escape from the stress of their job. And so when you combine the two, there's no escape. And I've felt that way sometimes, even though my hobbies have never been an escape for me. And I think this is why I have a difference of perspective, because people will tell me sometimes, like, you're going to ruin anime for yourself, or, like, you're going to, you know, like, if you keep, like, aren't you going to get burned out one day? And I'm like, I might get burned out in the sense that it's work, and of course I'll get burned out, but I feel like I've always treated anime that way.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, I've always been on this sort of journey to, like, learn everything and like, to be the ultimate guy and everything like that. And, like, so this constant pursuit of knowledge and constant pursuit of, like, being able to explain stuff and do it is, like, I've always treated anime this way. I've been running a blog since 2007, you know? and back then, I mean, I wasn't making money from the blog back then, but I treated it like a job.
Yeah,
like
you've always treated it the same way.
I saw it as like, I have to do this, and I have to, you know, have this certain amount of things, and I'd get really stressed out if I didn't make something for a certain amount of time. You know, like, it's always been exactly like it is now. It's a certain number per month, and, like, feeling bad if I'm not keeping up with shows and stuff like that. So nothing's really changed for me in all this time. So I feel like anime's kind of always been my job, and that's why it's fine that I'm stressed about that. The problem is that I have such a hard time letting something be a hobby, and it was only recently, and the sad thing is I haven't acted on this at all, but basically as of Doom, I finally realized that I
did it.
Yes.
Yeah, I kept that motherfucker alive and I beat this bitch.
As of Dark Souls 3 and Doom, I realized that video games can just be a hobby. Because I have such... Is that 2 bonfires in a row?
Yeah, because that's the next DLC.
I see.
So it wasn't always there. Oh my god, I'm going to go level up. I haven't even fucking looked at my souls this entire time.
Well, I'm sure you lost them all in that battle.
No, I got 86,000. Oh yeah. I guess that's the souls from the battle.
Yeah. So, yeah, what was I saying? I have always had this mindset that like anything I consume has to be analyzed, you know? Because like up until last year, in fact, up until this year, I've been in the mindset that I'm not just an anime analyst, you know? Like I can analyze video games, I can analyze film and comics and manga and all that stuff. But at some point in the last couple of months, it like dawned on me, why? Why do I have to analyze everything?
Yeah.
Because I'm much more passionate about covering anime. Like, I feel like I've been holding myself back from consuming other media because I'm so concerned about, like, trying to become somebody who can analyze it or something, as opposed to just enjoying video games. Because the thing about games is that everyone else is covering it. Like, there is no ground left. For me, at least. Like, I'm sure there's some people who can bring a totally unique perspective to games. Like, if you have some really different kind of reading of a game, then you go right ahead. But, like, I'm mostly a mechanics guy, you know? Like, I'm not a big story dude. I mostly talk about, like, the broad, sweeping mechanics of a game. And I've got Super Bunny Hop playing every new game that comes out. I've got Gaming Brit and Hyperbit Hero, who cover a lot of the same games that I play. I've got Matthew Matosis covering most of my favorite games, you know, in depth. He did all the Zeldas and all the Dark Souls. That's all my favorite games. I've got, like, you know, people deep diving the stories of Dark Souls, deep diving every fucking mechanic of Dark Souls. I've got, you know, H-Bomber guys putting out videos about the Souls games. I've got, like, literally everyone on fucking Earth is doing games analysis. And there's nothing I have to say, like, about just any game I play that's going to add to the conversation. Every once in a blue moon, like, when I did my video on Dark Souls versus Bloodborne, the player character, like, that was the only unique thing I had to say about it that nobody else had said. And it was a cool video for that reason. But, like, if I just, like, played Dark Souls 3, and I had intended to make a big analysis of it, because I thought I could beat everybody else to the punch. I was like, I know everyone's going to talk about this game, so I'll just beat them to it, and I'll make the big fucking analysis. And I started, like, recording footage for that and shit, and then I was just like, what am I doing? Like, who cares? Let me just play this game. I just like this game, you know? And then with Doom, like, I thought about doing something about Doom, but, like, Campster had covered Doom, Noah Gervais had covered Doom, and, like, they said most of what to be said. It's not hard to cover the Doom game.
Quick interludes.
Everyone understands what's good about it when they play it.
So does everyone now understand the reason why I waited till both DLCs were out before playing them on the show? Because that took, like, 3 or 4 episodes.
What, like the one we just did?
Yeah, that was the whole first DLC. Either way, it wasn't that long.
2 hours.
Like, it wasn't a whole show, you know?
Yeah.
It was half a session.
Oh, you meant to say that it was not a lot of episodes. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. It was barely anything, so it's not fun to sit down and just do that and then wait a bunch of months for another 5 episodes. When we can give you 10 episodes, motherfuckers. Or even more, because this one's longer than that. Or at least it has more bosses.
Whoa, this is a topsy-turvy fucking...
Dude,
oh, is this the fucking place that you saw in the background? In the
dreg heap, yeah.
Oh, man. Dreg heap, yes.
Pretty fucking dope.
The fucking heap of the dregs.
Old lady.
Your head square.
That's a great name for a place.
I thought that clan would well.
So anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, just getting into games and being like, let's just fucking enjoy it, man. Like,
what is that?
This new Zelda game came out, and I felt like people had already analyzed it in the way that I would have before it came out.
Yeah.
Like, what I would have had to say about this Zelda game would be talking about its comparison to the open world mechanics of Zelda 1, and then, like, how the movement works and stuff. Like,
you would have liked the game feel. Would have been what you were talking about.
That's what, when it comes to me and Zelda, I mostly talk about game feel and just the structure of it.
Yeah.
And people were, before the game even came out, everyone was talking about comparing it to Zelda 1, which Whoa! Did you know that was gonna happen?
Yeah,
oh!
That
was awesome. Why didn't that hurt you?
This place has snow everywhere in it. What the fuck?
What is
I
happening?
don't think that happened before. This guy's dragging me to hell.
Down into the snow.
Ugh, these guys are crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ah!
Oh! Everything's happening.
Oh! I don't know about this place,
Fuck,
Rick.
fuck. Roll.
Ah!
Fuck up. Yeah. So like 5 years ago, no one would have talked about Zelda 1.
Yeah.
Like, I only played Zelda 1 because of the analysis video by, what's his fucking name? Digressing and Side Questing, the game theory guy. The guy who edits game theory. And,
Ah! No! Why? I'm
Ronnie,
being raped!
Ronnie Edwards. That's his name. Ronnie Edwards. That dude made this video about, like, why Zelda 1 was great in comparison to A Link to the Past, because of the fact that he was basically going on like Egoraptor's points and shit like that. And I think Super Bunny Hop's Zelda video, what the fuck was that? There was just an angel descending.
Yeah, it chases me through.
Oh
the
my
you can't
God.
kill it. It just fucking tortures
That
you.
is fucking sick. Give me a bet. Oh,
Bad. It looks like
yeah.
an Affliction t-shirt, man. It's
Ruined
badass,
it
bro.
instantly. No, that thing's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Nah, it's dope.
I bet Ben would like that thing.
It trashes me. So I want whatever this is.
Anyways, what was I fucking saying, dude? Oh yeah, Zelda. Yeah, like Bunny Hop's video on Zelda talked about Zelda 1. So like I went and played Zelda 1 and I loved it. And I had all these thoughts about like the way that it is. But in the time since then, more people have gone back and played Zelda 1. More
Yeah.
people have commented on the similarities, especially when like when A Link Between Worlds came out, and that drew a lot of attention to older Zelda games because it was deliberately like a sequel to A Link to the Past and everything. And so by the time this new one came out, all anyone's talking about is, oh, it's like Zelda 1 where you can explore everything. I mean, even Nintendo themselves were marketing it that way.
Yeah.
And so the game comes out, everyone writes a think piece about it. Everyone on
There
Earth
is
has a video.
so much content about that fucking game. It's disgusting.
And I feel
so many
like
fucking lists about Zelda shit now that game is around. I guess I clicked like one article on Facebook one time about the game, and now I get recommended every article about Zelda shit that ever happens, and it's gross. It's horrible.
I think the funny thing about it is that had I played that game right when it came out and decided to make a video about it, I would have probably ended up making Super Bunny Hop's video.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that everyone else has already covered all the positives about the game. So why not be the guy to bring up the next? Because I would have played it the same way he did. I would have done everything. I would have done absolutely everything, played it for like 200 hours or whatever, and then, complained about those aspects. Because his video on that game is nearly identical to the one I did on the Wind Waker.
Huh.
Like, my video on the Wind Waker is, this is like the best game ever, but because if you try to explore all of it, you see all the scenes where they repeated too many things, and there's too much waiting, and there's too much, like, it's just not as big and cool as it should be.
That's exactly what I just gotta send you this because you're never gonna fucking play the game. So I gotta
Yeah,
send you
I will.
this
I
guy's
will play the
2-hour
game.
video of like the actual problems with the game, because his exact thing was everyone's talking about all these positives, getting all these 10 out of 10s, and it doesn't necessarily deserve that.
Yeah.
And so like here are all the fucking issues I have with this game, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And like it's similar to that with Wind Waker, where it's like once you get to the end, once you've played it for 200 hours, you think about what it could have been. And it's like the game is fucking great for what it is, but when you think about like why couldn't it have been this, then it's really disappointing, you know? Like why couldn't there have been real dungeons? Why?
Yeah.
They've done it in every other game. It doesn't feel like it should have be the most time-consuming thing in the world, you know? Like, would it have taken another year to add dungeons? I don't know. Like, but why? Why didn't they put them there, you know? It's sad.
Yeah.
That part's really disappointing.
But, like, anyway.
Final Fantasy 15 had better dungeons than Zelda did, you know?
So, in any case, like, even if I had played the game right when it came out and said something about it, what I would have said has been covered. So, like, if I play that game, which I fully intend to, just haven't gotten around to it, but, like, I want to play it as just a fun thing to do.
Yes.
You know, I like video games. I want to have fun. I don't want to analyze it. I don't want to make a video about it. Maybe I can make a short vlog about it, which thank God for my fucking vlogging channel, man. It's done so much for me to be able to just like say a piece about a thing and not make a big deal out of it, to not have to fully edit a video. You know, I could just say, hey, I thought it was all right. Here's some things that were cool. Here's some things that weren't cool. Bye. You know. And like sometimes I'll have people be like, but I want to fully edit it. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I gotta pick my fucking battles. You know, I can talk about anime all day. I think I have the most interesting perspective about anime, and no one else is gonna say what I'm gonna say.
That fucking thing, man. That's
what
weird.
even is that? Why was that there?
I'm pretty sure that's the only one. I only remember that guy.
What the fuck? Why? There's gotta be a reason for that, right?
I don't know. Maybe it was a lore dude.
Oh, that was fucking bizarre. That was like a fucking HR Geiger monster.
Yeah, this place is pretty fucked. Look at that shit! Ah!
Oh, it's a fatty.
Yeah, fuck these guys. You fight this one like, oh man, this must be like one of those rare tough enemies, and then like later they're the normal guy,
Yeah.
and they're like super fucking hard.
Whoa!
Poof.
A little
Yeah.
tuft of snow is all it takes
Yeah, well,
to
it's got
break
it's
what
got
would be a
rune circle.
life-ending amount of damage.
Runes.
Anyways,
This place has a very interesting verticality
yeah
that they
like,
play with, and that's
it's
really cool.
pretty. I've never seen a Dark Souls level quite like this before.
Yeah, it's super cool,
Um.
and I'm kind of blowing through it.
Yeah, but I dig it. It's like you're going through a whole fucking city, but it's just
Yeah.
like that doesn't even like it's like a
It very
city
much-
that doesn't resemble a city somehow.
It reminds me a lot of the style of like Uncharted, where it's like you see
Yeah.
a big open thing, but you only really explore a pathway through it.
But it's a cool path.
Yeah, it's a really cool,
I'm trying to think
well-designed
what this
pathway.
makes me think of, and the first thing that comes to mind is Shadow the Hedgehog, but in a good way.
Wow. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Because
In
you're
a
running,
good way.
You're running around on like buildings that are like collapsed in such a way that it forms a giant slope kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I get what you're saying.
Like the level everybody remembers from Sonic 06. But in a good way.
I can't hold on much longer. I let it go. I know it's one way.
Neither from Sonic 06 or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
but
it's
okay.
Sonic. Ah!
It's just fucking rad. This thing is fucking sick.
Yeah, it really does its number on you.
Yeah.
And you go into this fucking place with all these fucked up dudes.
Anytime there's a
Look at their
little
dark heads.
Anytime there's a little offshoot cave with a puddle in it,
You know
those are the
there's-
scariest
yeah.
places in the game. Like
You know you're gonna get fucked with
if
that
you see
puddle.
like a weird innocuous cave that's obviously not somewhere you have to go,
like,
that's
there's gonna
probably
be
the
a
hardest
literal-
room in the game.
There's gonna be an actual boss in here.
Yeah. Or like 90 of the hardest enemies.
Yes.
You know. Nothing scarier than the one in the Bloodborne DLC, where there's
Yes.
a blood-starved beast and everything. That's the
And
that's
a fucking
probably
dude
the
with
hardest.
a Gatling gun.
Yeah, that's the hardest room in that game.
Definitely.
God, this is fucked. But yeah. What the fuck was I talking about? Video games. They're fun, and I can play them like a human and not have to analyze it. That's my hope, anyways. Because I was kind of thinking of this as a way for me to gain back having a hobby. You know.
Yes.
Like I do feel like when I get to the point where work becomes stressful, I have no escape from it because I treat everything the same. Like
I always
everything
have-
I consume has to be analyzed, and I have to have an opinion. You know.
There's an amazing feeling for me,
Cool.
which is also somewhat terrifying because it happens without fail every time. But I can get into, like when I got into Breath of the Wild, there was just a straight like 2 weeks where that's all I did.
Yeah.
And no one bothered me. That's the thing. No work was like coming up.
Uh-huh.
I was just off the grid for 2 weeks while I played Breath of the Wild. And then as soon as I finished it, everything picked up again. And it was like, there was no effort made to do
This
that.
guy doesn't want to fight you.
Huh.
You
Ah!
fucked it up. You fucked it up. You got a Titanite slab for free.
Yep.
And you fucked it up immediately. This cave actually isn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I expected a lot worse especially for a slab.
Yeah.
You expect there to be like a
Well, that thing's
something-
supposed to be shooting at you a little bit more. It does like this weird aura thing.
I would have expected
God,
that to
it's
be
so
like
scary.
the part where in Bloodborne...
It just screams. You can't hear it, but it's just screaming at me every time it shoots.
The part in Bloodborne where to get Maria's weapon, you have to like go down that well
Yeah.
and fight the two big fuckers. That's what I would have expected to be in
Oh,
there.
God. Ugh. God, that fucking part.
Maybe it was just that the AI on the one guy was broken. And you were
Oh,
supposed
yeah,
to
I think
fight
he was
both.
definitely broken. I think I fought him before.
Anyway.
Ah!
What are we talking about here?
Bloodborne? I don't know.
Just playing video games. Yeah, you were saying you get locked in for 2 weeks. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how when I play a game. And that's also why this has been a struggle for me to like make video games a hobby, because when I play a game, I just do it nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, like
you can't stop once you start. You're done.
yeah. With all the Souls
That's
games
it.
and with Doom, like I'll just sit down for 2 straight days and all I do is play the game, which is fun, but it also means like I better have all my work in
Yeah,
order
it's
beforehand, you know, which is how I
Oh, I wasn't supposed to
Like-
drop off that. I was supposed to run up. Fuck.
I was telling you, like,
Oh, geez,
I
what
might play Zelda, like, very soon, because I do have all my work done for this month. You know, like, I'm pretty secure as of, like, the other day. Like, 'cause the thing is, for me, that a lot of stuff will come up. Like I probably would have done it last month if not for the fact that the Atlanta trip was coming. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's already going to be 5 days taken away. You know, and then, like, this month it was like, well, we're going to go see the Dick Show, and we're going to... I was on the Dick Show yesterday, and like we did all this extra stuff, so you know I haven't had time to like get bored enough to be like, let's just hook up a game console and do that, you know. And I keep inventing new ways to make myself busy as I keep making more podcasts and collabs
Fire
and
Witch.
all this bullshit. Why is there a Fire Witch in this game?
She's mean.
Summon back the Fire Witch to the court of the Crimson King.
She literally is just a Fire Witch. Like, you get her armor, it just says Fire Witch's armor. I wonder if that's to do with all the Lost Islets.
That's what I'm
bullshit or whatever.
saying. That
Yeah, I completely forgot all about
She
all that.
looks like a Lost Isleth witch. Desert Pyromancer Zoe.
Oh yeah,
okay,
Desert
never mind.
Pyromancer,
She's-
not Fire Witch.
Yeah, now that I see her up close, she does not
Ah!
look like a Isleth witch.
I misremembered what she was. Motherfucker.
Ugh.
She's strong.
This place is cool as shit.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we're at the end of this episode, so if you want to go poop, I also
sure.
will
Let's
poop.
go take a drop of
Let's
dew.
go take simul shits next time on Digibros, buddy.
We will
Yeah.
have pooped.
We will have pooped.